to get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, don't tell them what to say. Tinfoil haters are here to save the day. Sammy are about to get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Haters. How are all you vital idols doing? We got a fun one today. We got a fun one, and we got a recent one. This is more of an ongoing theory more than anything else. And it's one that we will probably never actually know the answers to. Whether there's anything to hide, whether there's nothing to hide. It's sometimes it do be like that. We're talking about 3I Atlas, the comet that is very strange. It's not following proper... it's not following certain laws and rules that comets normally come to follow as we've known them. So some are hypothesizing that this may be an actual alien spacecraft monitoring and spying on Earth. Is there any truth to it? We'll find out. But first, let me introduce my lovely co-host. We got Sammy 3P, my man. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Sammy 3P. I'm a Detroit-based musician, but I also do streaming stuff. So you can find me on YouTube, Rumble. I think Kick is it's going the way of the dodo.
What do you mean Kick is going the way of the dodo? From right here, afflicted Dresden, right? Like it's right in the comments, dude. Words of paradise. Would you like many viewers? Let's make you popular. What do you mean going the way of the dodo?
Could you pose it more as a foreign bot? Would you like many viewers?
Need more of a Russian accent.
What was that, Cindy?
Need more of a Russian accent.
Would you like many viewers? Would you
Yeah,
like many viewers?
Kick viewers come to you.
Still better than all the Chinese bot propaganda I've been seeing on X. Speaking of Cindy, Cindy, girly, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Cindy. I like to talk about, spooky things, anime, games, hang out with y'all weirdos because I'm weird too. It's nice.
You'll love to see it. And of course, we couldn't do this at all without you lovely vital idols in chat. We had Crovax here first. Deadly Catzilla says, let's unravel the secrets. Yes, shall we indeed? The true Aztec warrior is here. Shout out Jake motherfucking Martin, who I know has been wanting us to cover this. And it's one that I've been tangentially eyeing and knew would be on the list, but didn't know when we get to it. This week seemed like the week to do it. Cinevere will, of course, be talking to you guys in the chat, so shout out Cinevere. Philip Morgan is in the house. Gal Carrymon is here. Shout out to you, Gal Carrymon. The Stream Elements bot is doing its job, even though I don't use Stream Elements. Bridget's in the house. Samuel, we've done to you guys in chat. We got Miss Sparkles. We got Dax, our best mod in the whole damn land. Shout out Dax. Truly appreciate you considering, I feel like I haven't seen you as much lately. I think I call out Bridget, but just in case, Bridget, we see you again. Soul Assassin says, howdy, y'all. Well, howdy you as well, my man. A real hippo. It's those Indian Chinese bots. And I like the idea of them being Russian. I like the idea of them being Russian because I like to keep the great 2017 conspiracy alive that Russian bots are what elected Donald Trump. It's been almost 10 years, and I just
still real to me.
Yeah, it's still real to me. Exactly. Dalkamon is here. Shout out Dalkamon. We got Killer Games. How you doing, brother? Fethalo green skin. I have no idea how you pronounce that. I think 3i Atlas is a comet, but I'd love for her to be an alien ship with sexy green ladies. Oh my, now see, homie got his priorities straight.
Yep.
Sexy green alien ladies. I'm all in, baby. And then we got Gravel. Shout out Gravel. Scotty G up in this bitch. Oh, good. He admits he's been lazy. I'm glad. Thank you. Our boy Admiral Beals in the house showing off the Ein Corgi. Alrighty. Let's get into it, guys. Now, I do have a quick little video, about a little 2-minute video explaining what 3i Atlas is. Before we get into that, have you guys heard about this at all? Are you familiar with what's going on with 3i Atlas?
I've never even heard of it.
I mean, just very little. I know that it's a comet, and it was going to be my candidate for 2028.
Is it a comet, Sammy?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a comet. That's the accepted narrative, you fucking sheep.
It's there's a lot of abnormalities.
Shout out Tony Kenobi. Sorry, go on, buddy.
But yeah, everything that I've read was like it could, like it's been subjected to like a lot of cosmic radiation, so like it's like crusted in a very strange way. It's on an odd trajectory. It's definitely not of our solar system. So there's a lot of things. I'd like to think that it's a spaceship, but and then when you guys brought up the sexy green ladies, now I'm all in. So.
Wunderbar. You'll love to see it. Well, let's go ahead. For those in the audience that may or may not know what it is, again, this is a little quick 2-minute video about what 3i Atlas actually is. We're gonna watch this, and then we'll get into the actual conspiratorial element of it.
Welcome to the We On podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode,
They sound like bots.
3i Atlas, set to
Well, considering it's only 2.5 minutes, it probably is a bot. But bot or not, it gives us an idea of what we need to talk about.
swing closest to Earth on December 19th, 2025, and reveal the cosmic spectacle astronomers around the world are eagerly watching. As it races through the solar system, this interstellar wanderer may unlock secrets about worlds far beyond our own. 3i Atlas is an interstellar comet from beyond our solar system. It was discovered on July 1st, 2025, by the NASA-supported Atlas telescope in Chile. This comet follows a fast, hyperbolic path through space, meaning it only passes by once. The comet will pass its closest point to Earth on December 19th, 2025. It will be about 1.8 astronomical units away. That's around 270 million kilometers, which is safe and far from any threat to our planet. 3i Atlas passed closest to the Sun on October 30th, 2025, at about 1.4 astronomical units, or roughly 210 million kilometers, which is inside the orbit of Mars. This solar approach caused increased activity on the comet's surface. Its orbit is hyperbolic, indicating it comes from outside our Sun's gravitational pull. This is only the third interstellar comet detected so far, making it a rare visitor from another star system. As 3i Atlas moves away from the Sun, it will become visible again from Earth's northern hemisphere using powerful telescopes. Its tail and coma, made from dust and gas, will provide valuable information to astronomers. Despite the close approach in astronomical terms, 3i Atlas poses no risk to Earth. It will never come near enough to cause any threat, and will continue its journey outward from our solar system. Scientists will use this chance to study an interstellar comet's composition and behavior under the Sun's heat. It helps us understand more about materials from other parts of our galaxy. Thanks for tuning in to this incredible story.
Alrighty, there we go. So that's the long and the short of it. At least as far as the accepted scientific analysis is going. But there is, in fact, some dispute about this. In fact, it was a dispute from a pretty reputable individual. So let's go through this article we got from the New York Post here, and talk about the actual conspiracy element. 3i Atlas' bizarre trajectory suggests it could be sending satellites to spy on Jupiter, per a Harvard scientist. Now, I know that academia ain't what it used to be, but This is a pretty hokey headline even for us here on TFH. Like, I don't know. Do we believe that this thing could send satellites to Jupiter?
What's on Jupiter that needs satellites?
I'm glad you asked. So this article actually brings it up. Is the gas giant about to have a close encounter of the three-eye kind? Harvard scientist Avi Loeb claims the three-eye atlas' bizarre trajectory suggests that it's sending satellites to Jupiter to gather intel for an extraterrestrial civilization. Loeb told the Post that Comet 3-Eye Atlas could use its time near Jupiter, which it will reach on March 16th, 2026, to seed additional probes on the gas giant. Now, this is the Harvard professor right here. So, I mean, looks like a relatively normal dude. He's not like, got long strung out hair, wearing, like a I Want to Believe shirt or anything.
He is doing the aliens pose, though.
He is doing the aliens pose. You're right. I didn't even think about that. He's doing the aliens pose. In a new blog post on Medium, the astrophysicists speculated that Jupiter is of interest to the comet because Jupiter is bigger than Earth and the other neighboring planets in our solar system, and therefore acts like an intergalactic beacon. Loeb said that for the comet to do recon Jupiter, it would have to move into a region where Jupiter's gravity dominates over the sun's. The area contains stable spots where the objects can hold position with very little fuel, making them prime real estate for advanced satellites. So basically, it has to be when Jupiter is at its farthest point in its orbit from the sun, so that if it does send out probes, they make sure to get caught in Jupiter's gravity and not the sun's gravity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it goes on to say, as the researcher pointed out, 3-1 Atlas appeared to be following, 3-Eye Atlas appeared to be following this exact path. Loeb found it an extraordinary coincidence that during the interstellar entity's closest approach to Jupiter in March, it will be at a minimum distance of 53.445 million kilometers, so over 33.209 million miles from Jupiter, based on calculations by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It comes exactly to the right distance from Jupiter for Jupiter's gravity to dominate, Loeb told News Nation. So if it wants to release some probes near Jupiter, that's where it needs to be. Now, that is a pretty amazing coincidence. Like, I'm not exactly an astronomer or anything, although that is, not an astronomer, but like an astrophysicist. Although that is one of the things that I want to do in my life. I took heavy college courses on astronomy and whatnot. It's a interest that I have a lot of, interest in. Man, of all the times for this comet to be coming to our solar system, passing through, because again, it's not actually of our solar system. And so once it passes out of our solar system, it won't be coming back. This is a one and done thing. For all the times for it to come through, for it to be passing by Jupiter when it's at its furthest point from the sun, that's pretty damn coincidental.
Somebody's asking how far the moon is for reference.
The moon is like, I think like 400,000 miles, I believe. Let me make sure. Distance from Earth to moon. 238,000 miles. Yeah, the moon is 238,000 miles. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, look, we all know space is kind of big, so it's a little large. So yeah, for it to be coming at this time is it is interesting.
It's a very interesting coincidence. It's also would be extremely impressive from a calculation standpoint, and it would be a great place if you wanted to monitor the entire solar system. That would be a wonderful place to open up shop.
I agree. So it goes on to say he also calculated that 3-Eye Atlas may have even executed an in-flight maneuver during its month-long passage near perihelion, which is the object's closest approach to the sun, to ensure it's within proper range. Excuse me. Now, this is one of the reasons people think that it may be a spacecraft of some kind, that it basically went against what its normal gravitational arc would be to basically maneuver into a way that put it on a different flight path, which is, it's atypical of comets at the very least. I mean, scientists do not know, based on the research I've done, the reason for this. Now that they say that it's likely a logical explanation, they just haven't found yet, because they're not jumping. Most scientists, 99% of scientists, aren't jumping to aliens, but it's definitely strange. So it's going to be at Jupiter. When it's at its furthest point from the sun, it made some sort of strange flight maneuver when near perihelion. Like, these are these are interesting things that it's doing. The non-gravitational acceleration introduced a small course correction of exactly the magnitude needed, he declared. Loeb added that if 3i Atlas were indeed alien technology, it might have fine-tuned its trajectory with the help of artificial thrusters, alluding to the comet's so-called jet structure. Unfortunately, it's arrived at perihelion behind the sun, making it invisible to earthly observatories and thereby preventing us from seeing whether it's the comet executed such a maneuver or if it released probes at the time. And that's the thing, because the comet went behind the sun, making it unable for us to actually watch it and view it. That's one of the basis for the theories that, this is an alien craft. These aliens smart. They've been doing recon on us. They know that we're at least technologically advanced enough to be monitoring the solar system, what's going on in the cosmos. So they need to do everything they can to effectively blind us.
I don't know if they leave us be, we'll take ourselves out.
Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily. Let's hypothetically, entertain the idea that for a moment it is some sort of alien craft. Just because they're monitoring us doesn't necessarily mean they're hostile.
Yeah,
that's fair.
This could be the opening up of some peace negotiations. Who knows?
A trade route.
Yes.
So we'll go further. Loeb said that he hoped that objects orbiting Jupiter after the passage of 3i Atlas could be identified by the Juno spacecraft or by other human-made orbiters around Jupiter. This would have major implications for finding out the cosmic interloper's intentions, per Loeb. If we find technological satellites of Jupiter that we didn't send, it would imply that Jupiter is of interest to an extraterrestrial civilization. The scientists wrote that not finding similar gadgets near Earth would also deliver a major blow to our ego, as it would indicate we are not the only center of our solar system. We aren't even the center of our cosmic neighborhood. As for why 3i Atlas prefer the volatile gas giant to the inhabited Earth, Loeb wrote this potentially because the human species arrived late to the party, only a few million years ago. On the contrary, Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system, was visible to the senders of 3i Atlas when the mission was launched billions of years ago, the scientists speculated, because as it currently stands, right now, it's being proposed to be about 7 billion or so years old. Now, for reference purposes, the comets that we find in our solar system-based orbit are 3 to 4 billion years old. So if this thing's 7 billion years old, that means it got about a 3 billion year head start on finding our solar system.
I can't even fathom. Like, that's absurd.
Oh, you're talking about like the length of time?
Yeah, that's
it's insane, right? All right, so it goes on to say, however, the likelihood of 3i Atlas embarking on a Jupiter recon mission is relatively low, at least compared to other possibilities. This is per Loeb, the same guy that said that's what it could be doing. He said this is the lowest probability. In fact, the researcher ranked it the least likely in a list of 6 major 3i Atlas anomalies with no explanation. He then posted on his blog Sunday. One more likely probability per the essay is that the comet's anti-trail, where its tail points towards the sun rather than away, as is typical of comets, means it's emitting a beam of light used to sweep away tiny meteors out of the spacecraft's path. And we're going to get into the anti-tail in a little bit. However, just so you guys know what this is in reference to. So obviously, when we think of comets, we think of like the trail and stuff it leaves behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So this has one. It also has a trail spitting out in front of it.
Huh?
Yes, exactly. Huh is the correct answer.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's very strange. Most concerning was the comet's orientation towards the planets in our solar system, which Loeb suggested could have been by design. NASA's official position, with the legacy reiterated during its anticipated photo release in Maryland just last week, remains that 3i Atlas is a comet. Now, could it be a comet? Is it a comet? I mean, yeah, maybe, even likely. But those are a lot of strange anomalies, all for just this one thing. One strange anomaly, okay, there's some study to be done there. 2 strange anomalies, okay, that's getting weird. We got like 6. Look, man, this is definitely something, and I think it's something so out there, even if it's not alien, that I don't think we'd ever get the official story on from NASA.
No way.
Why is the New York Post hosting this?
I mean, it's still news. Loeb is he's a PhD holder. He's an astrophysicist. He sat on the board of astronomy or whatever at Harvard. I mean, why wouldn't you cover this? This is incredible news.
But I don't know. I think I would be like, I don't know that something would be monitoring Jupiter. I don't know. I would be a little bit weird about it, I guess.
What do you mean be weird about it?
Because I wouldn't put that up there because I'd be like, well, I mean, that sounds really far-fetched. I don't think people would be interested in this. So I wouldn't host it.
You don't think that people would be interested in a headline that says aliens might be monitoring Jupiter?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, now that you put it that way.
Like,
There you
think
go.
about it. Follow me on this one, Cindy.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about this Avi Loeb guy, right? So Abraham Avi Loeb, he is an Israeli and American theoretical physicist who works in astrophysics and cosmology. Now, I'll just say it. The fact that he's part Israeli and spent the vast majority of his time in Israel immediately calls shit into question for me. So obviously right now there's a bit of a divide, bit of a rift between people in the U.S. and what they think of Israel. So the one dissenting scientist, because let's be real, he is the only major dissenting scientist from NASA, and I got no beef with dissenting from NASA. NASA's a bunch of fucking liars. I'll prove it later on in the show. We've talked about it before. NASA are known liars. But the one dissenting voice trying to be like, we need transparency for the people. NASA, you're not doing enough. This, that, and the other. Being Israeli, to me, does have a bit of a propaganda element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of screams, I'm the 10th dentist who doesn't recommend Crest.
Right.
You know.
So that being said, he does have credentials. Loeb was born in Beit Hanan, Israel. Hold on, let's get to his work here. He's got 8 books. He's got a PhD. He worked at Princeton doing theoretical astrophysics. Let's see life in the universe. 2013, Loeb wrote about the habitable epoch in the early universe, knowing the cosmic microwave background would temporarily have been temperatures compatible with liquid water around 15 million years after the Big Bang. Claims about alien life. Loeb's claims about alien life attracted and sustained criticism from other scientists. Stephen Dash, an astrophysicist at Arizona State University, referred to Loeb's claims as ridiculous sensationalism, which represent a real breakdown of the peer review process and the scientific method. Now, it's interesting because you've got other scientists calling him out, saying that basically he's a fraud. However, he also sat on the board for Harvard. Let me see if let's see, where do I have that? Harvard. Yeah. So he founded the Institute for Advanced Study at Harvard University. So, I mean, that was one of the things that he founded. Let's see. He moved in 1993, moved to Harvard as the assistant professor, Department of Astronomy. He's the director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. He's the junior professor of science at Harvard. So, I mean, like, all these other scientists are criticizing his view on 3i Atlas, but it's not like the guy's without credentials. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know. Oh, no, go for it.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing. And also, science is kind of weird like that. You can... all it is posing theories. So, I mean, just because his theories don't clash with the mainstream, what's accepted, doesn't mean that he doesn't have ways to kind of like back his theories up or whatever. He just might not be a mainstream scientist. I mean,
that's the thing is he is a mainstream scientist, and all the other mainstream scientists are going against him, and that's to me what makes this so interesting. Because on the one hand, you've got, hey, we know nowadays trust the science is bullshit. After COVID, anyone that still trusts the science is fucking retarded. On the other hand, this one dissenting scientist who also happens to be Israeli, he ain't exactly getting, like a vote of confidence from me. So I'm in the position of, we've got 2 institutions here, neither one that I trust. So which one is the more likely outcome,
Yeah.
So let's go on to talk about this right here, where 3i Atlas mystery deepens as object approaches Earth. Because there's yet another interesting piece of abnormalities that appear. So the interstellar visitor accelerated to 152,000 miles per hour after passing the sun, defying typical gravitational predictions and showing no gas emissions. A mysterious object from outside the solar system has astronomers scratching their heads. Right, so we've already talked about what 3i Atlas is. So the acceleration that shouldn't exist. After 3i Atlas passes perihelion, the closest point to the sun in its orbit, October 29th, something unexpected occurred. Instead of simply continuing at a predictable gravitational arc, the object's speed increased dramatically, approximately 152,000 miles per hour. While NASA scientists acknowledge the sun's gravitational pull accounts for much of this acceleration, the subsequent shift in the object's path away from the sun has left experts searching for additional explanations. So for those that don't know, it's, it hit our solar system at about 138,000 miles per hour, if I recall. Now, once it started, once it hit perihelion, jumped to 152,000 miles per hour. So it jumped like damn near 20,000 miles an hour faster. We could say sort of that this accounts for the sun, the gravitational pull of the sun, the slingshot effect. We see that amongst large bodies that have these massive gravitational pulls. However, since it changed its trajectory and flew in a different arc than expected, that makes its speed up seem more artificial than actually done via the sun's gravitational pull. That's, again, really weird. Nothing? Yeah, y'all are fucking dead. I'm gonna need y'all to talk about some shit.
I'm sorry. I'm just really, it's really interesting what you're saying.
Right, if it's interesting, say shit, because this is weird, guys.
I got it. Wow, interesting.
Okay, look, too many numbers. My brain has left the building.
No, you would think that would be artificial, and also you would think you would have to be a little bit closer to start picking up a speed of like that. That's not any like, oh, you got a little bump here. That's 20,000 miles an hour.
Right?
It's not. It's not
exactly.
like, oh.
That's not nothing, and scientists can't explain it. Yes, Sammy and Cindy left speechless. Exactly. The thing is, we're on a live show. I'm gonna need the speechlessness. It's not. Anyway,
sorry, it's not really great for the podcast, but I'm just sitting here like, God damn, that's interesting.
Right. So after 3i Atlas passes perihelion, the closest point of the sun, we got that. So the acceleration pattern doesn't match what astronomers typically observe with the known celestial objects. When space rocks or comets approach the sun, their behavior generally follows well understood gravitational mechanics. The fact 3i Atlas deviates from these established patterns suggests something unusual about either its composition or the forces acting upon it. Now, in my opinion, this is, let's see, Next 25, rollingout.com. This is their way of saying aliens without saying aliens when it says the forces acting upon it, because they want to maintain some idea of credibility. I don't know. Is that how you guys read it? Or
no, that's how I took it.
Interesting.
NASA's updated tracking data reveals another puzzling detail. Although the acceleration weakens somewhat after perihelion, it remains present and still doesn't align with expected gravitational forces. Scientists find themselves unable to account for this persistent speed increase using conventional models. It's also missing the telltale signs of a comet. Under normal circumstances, when a comet approaches the sun, the increasing heat causes ice on the surface to vaporize. This process releases jets of gas that can alter both the comet's direction and speed, creating the spectacular trails that makes comets so recognizable. So basically, comet passes by the sun really hot, comet starts to melt or exude gases. That's what gives the trail that we see.
Yeah.
This isn't doing that. 3i Atlas hasn't displayed any clear signs of gas release, deepening the mystery surrounding its nature. Again, well, if it's not actually a giant ball of ice and whatnot, like comets usually are, then if it's instead, let's say, some sort of metallic space probe or spaceship, there probably wouldn't be anything for any gas to give off. Like, based on what we're seeing so far, I'm not saying it is, because we're going to wait to get our thoughts till the end like usual, but based on what we're seeing so far, it's sounding kind of like a fucking spaceship.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've also read weird things that, like, it's, what you said here, one, it's not behaving that way. It's not comprised of anything that they can identify. They think like maybe it's either some sort of like shell of a hub, or it's just been so it came from so far away, it's been so irradiated by cosmic rays that it's unrecognizable, and that might be why the behavior is different.
Well,
Super
speaking of
interesting.
different behavior, so Patholo Greenskin says, "What if it's made of a magnetic material, metal, and the sun's magnetic field is speeding it up?" Again, that's a very interesting theory. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting theory. Again, it might, we also had Jake saying the same thing. Could be a formerly unknown type of interstellar object too. We've only had the ability to detect something like this for a mere fraction of human history. Exactly. You're 100% correct, which is why I'm not jumping immediately to aliens. Although it being the return of the Anunnaki, like Senator Kenobi says, would be awesome. Now,
I do have a question.
Sure.
I don't really know a whole lot about comets and stuff like that, but you said that gas emitting from the rock, right, will cause the trail. Does it ever run out of that, or does it just keep remaking it? Like, how does that even function?
well, so it depends. As comets, because they travel through the solar system or through space, if it's not locked within an orbit of such, as it travels through the solar system or through space, it picks up more and more debris as it accelerates. So whether it completely burns out or continues, really depends on if it comes in line with some sort of object that would cause it to burn up completely before it regathers all the debris and stuff that it picks up to eventually reform itself. Like, you've heard of Halley's Comet, right? Halley's Comet passes every right. So Halley's Comet
75
is
years.
on a traditional orbit. So we'll always see Halley's Comet because even though it loses, it loses, the emissions cause it to melt a little bit and lose the debris. It gets out of that. It gets out of its placement towards the sun that would cause that melt, to cause that gas and whatnot faster than if it were to go to melt completely or burn up. And during its time traveling to the solar system, it builds up more and more debris and stuff, and that's effectively, so it's on a perpetual loop. It'll never, I don't know if it'll never go away, because it would have to, does it pick up more than it loses? It could just be a very slow process. But the point is, yes, comets can effectively burn up and fade away, but there's no consistency to it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
wonder
no, that
how
makes
many
a lot of sense.
people were like born when Halley's Comet like first passed by and then like died when Halley's Comet came back.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
it's
doesn't
got a 72 to 80 year.
I thought it was 75.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact length of the time. I know that Halley's Comet passed when I was like 12 years old or something. Or maybe it passed like when I was like 2 years old. It'll pass. I think it'll be in my 60s next time we see it. So
Yeah, I know I'll be an old man, but I just like to think it was like, is that what the Heaven's Gate guy was thinking about? It was like, all right, when I was a kid, Halley's Comet came by. I was like, it's coming back. We're gonna get on it. Everybody drink some Kool-Aid.
Oh,
It said-
2062. So we'll see you in 2062. I think I'll be in my early 70s, actually.
It said it was
But-
last here in 1986, and it'll be roughly
I could
2061
swear
or
Halley's Comet
2062.
passed in my lifetime. I guess maybe it hasn't. If it was here in 86, I wouldn't have been born yet. I could swear it passed when I was really young, but I guess maybe not. Either way, yeah, I'll see it when I'm in my 70s. So sorry for you old fuckers that never gotten to see it.
Got that going for me.
So the lack of visible gas emissions become even more puzzling when considering the math behind the object's trajectory change. Scientists estimate the 3-eye atlas to shift its path in an observed manner. It would have needed to lose at least 13% of its mass during its close pass with the sun. And mass loss of that magnitude would typically produce a large visible cloud of dust surrounding the object. No such cloud has been detected. 3-eye atlas adding another layer to the enigma. So
Yeah, that's
if
weird.
we were to scientifically explain the deviation from its course that it made, that again seems to be an artificial deviation. If it wasn't an artificial deviation, if it happened naturally, we would have seen this thing get smaller, right? It would have lost 13% of its mass. It didn't. Again, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Hail Bop. Thank you.
Hail Bop. That's that. Yeah.
Oh,
I always
okay.
mix those ones up.
But anyway, so this thing seemingly lost 0 mass, yet still made that deviation and did not exude any of the gaseous runoff.
Almost like it's trying to mimic.
Right,
what a
exactly.
comet
Almost
should
like
be
it's trying to
doing.
mimic a comet. Yeah, correct. What happens when it reaches Earth? So the object is projected
It
to reach its
won't.
closest point Earth in approximately 6 weeks. This upcoming approach is, by the way, this is an older article. It's closer now. I believe the date is December 19th.
Yes.
We'll go. Is it? What is it?
It's December 19th. I remember you said it earlier.
Yeah, it'll be the closest to Earth on December 19th. We still won't be able to see it from Earth. You need a telescope or whatnot, but that's when it'll be closest to Earth. So I'll just project to reach close point Earth in approximately 6 weeks. The upcoming approach has scientists preparing for intensive observation campaigns, hoping to gather data that might finally explain 3i Atlas's unusual characteristics. Loeb suggested the object continues showing no surrounding gas clouds as it approaches. The explanation for its behavior lie outside natural processes. He indicated the unusual acceleration pattern might point to something far more advanced at work. Then he stopped short of making definitive claims about the object's origins. Now, this is all well and good. That being said, I don't trust NASA or anyone to give us answers on this. Why? Well, what does Mars look like? But you guys on the panel as well as in chat, what does Mars look like?
It's a red planet, isn't it?
Okay, Sammy, what about you?
Yeah, it's like a mountainous desert, red planet covered with glaciers and things like that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you guys are wrong. This is what Mars looks like on the right. So NASA has, for years upon years, NASA has released doctored photos of Mars to add more of an alien or exotic sort of view of it, right? Any photos and things that we get from like the rovers on Mars or passing satellites, NASA doctors those before they release them to the public.
Oh, it just looks like Nevada.
Exactly. So if NASA's been doing this since at least the 70s, why the fuck would they be honest about what they actually find out when it passes closest to Earth here in a few weeks?
Does that mean it doesn't rain diamonds on Neptune?
Unfortunately, I don't know the answer to whether it actually rains diamonds on Neptune or not. Either way, we could send a bunch of women there to find out, and I'm sure the US will be a better place.
It rains diamonds on Neptune.
Please don't. Somehow it'll affect their feelings. We'll never get the truth. It'll all be lies anyway. So yeah, don't do that.
So anyway, I live in Nevada. We look more like the one on the left. So yeah, point is, why if just looking at this, seeing what NASA did, which let's be real, guys, there's a massive difference in these photos. They're the same photo. There's a massive difference. NASA didn't come clean about this until the 2000s.
What?
That's pretty lame, dude.
So why then would we trust what NASA has to say, even when it does make its closest pass to Earth?
I don't know. Yeah, why? Why should I believe anything?
Exactly.
I was totally.
So is Mars habitable?
No, Mars is not habitable. Now we could probably do some like terraforming and stuff to make it habitable. But yeah, no, as it currently stands, Mars is not habitable. It lacks a lot of what we need for it to be habitable. But it's
but it's weird that it's got a blue sky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if it's got a blue sky, that does mean that it has the potential for habitability. Plant a few trees, give it a couple of years, it should sort itself out.
Well, no. So Mars has an incredibly thin, weak atmosphere, unlike Earth, so that it does not have protection from so Earth.
That's why there's so many craters and shit on it.
Well, not only that, Earth is bombarded daily by cosmic radiation from the sun. Most of it just doesn't get through because we've got an incredibly protective shield via our atmosphere. And Mars doesn't have that, so radiation on Mars would be absolutely insane. This is the same with on the moon. Also, even though it has a blue sky, it's also like the average temperature on Mars is something like negative 200 degrees or Fahrenheit or something like that. So you couldn't really just plant a tree. Let me make sure I'm correct about it. It's about as temperature.
Well, and it's oxygen content. It's everything's off.
Oh, it can reach highs of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But
wow.
it reaches, but can drop to lows of 200 degrees Fahrenheit during the winter. Okay,
no,
gotcha.
Thank you. No thanks.
So then we got this right here. So renowned physicist reveals real reason 3i Atlas lost its tail, and it's not aliens. Now, this is Michio Kaku. You guys ever listen to Michio Kaku before?
Yeah.
Sorry, he looks AI.
No, Michio Kaku is not AI. Now, he's a bit of a weird guy. He's
long
definitely got
flowing
some
locks are
theory.
beautiful.
What?
She was making fun of his hair. His long
No,
flowing locks are
I
gorgeous.
just I see Japanese man, long hair. It didn't compute for like half a
He's
second.
like a little Asian George Washington.
It does. Oh my goodness.
Point is, he is a renowned astrophysicist, and he's got some weird beliefs of his own, mind you. He's got some quite weird beliefs of his own. But when it comes to Three-Eye Atlas, this ain't one of his weird beliefs. So, renowned theoretical physicist, sorry, it's a theoretical physicist, not astrophysicist, Dr. Michio Kaku says the mysterious interstellar object Three-Eye Atlas likely isn't an alien spacecraft, just an ancient, well-traveled comet that's showing its age. Dexter has been following, yeah, we don't care about that. Scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, fuck you, and Avi Loeb have both weighed in on the mystery in recent months. The former suggesting Three-Eye Atlas could be aliens, but probably isn't. The latter urging transparency from NASA as the comet draws closer to Earth. Kaku says Three-Eye Atlas is a 7 billion year old garbage collector. I have my own point of view on this, and that this is a very old object, perhaps even 7 billion years old, Kaku said. In 7 billion years, there's been plenty of time to accumulate garbage. That's why, for example, the nickel content of this comet is off scale. He explained the object's irregular composition with high nickel and iron levels likely results from billions of years traveling through multiple environments and absorbing different gases and materials. It's different from comets in our solar system, Kaku added. Those may be only 3 to 4 billion years old. The interview follows earlier comments from Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who called on NASA to release new data from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, claiming the agency's temporary shutdown delayed the release of high-resolution images. Kaku criticized the secrecy, saying that withholding data fosters more and more speculation about extraterrestrial origins. While Kaku didn't rule out the possibility of alien connection entirely, he said the odds are non-zero, but very small. For now, Three-Eye Atlas set to make close passing to Earth in about 6 weeks. Again, this is an old thing. So that's that's what we got from that. So when you compare what Kaku said to what's being said by like Loeb, for example, what are your thoughts?
I think he is a little bit more rooted in science, where he was just talking about the composition and everything else. You're going to be very hard pressed. Besides the things we talked about, like the trajectory, maybe the speed gain, to get me to go hands down that this is some sort of craft. I'm willing to believe it's something. It's not a regular comet. I mean, that's for sure. But just when he was talking about the nickel composition, things like that, it was like that feels more grounded to me than.
Sorry, you're going somewhere. I just want to address this. Who would win a fight, Dr. Kaku or Carl Sagan? Are you fucking retarded, Soul Assassin? Obviously, Kaku, he's Asian. He knows Kung Fu. Sorry, go on, Sammy.
It's true. No, I basically nailed it. Thank you. Yep, high five me. Got it.
You did good, buddy. You did good. Now, Cindy, what are your thoughts so far?
I don't know. I think I really need to look in on more of this on my own downtime. I think it's kind of fascinating. I just don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, here's what let's listen to what Loeb had to say about the transparency of NASA.
Avi Loeb joins us now. He's the head of the Galileo Project, director of Harvard University's Institute for Theory and Computation, and author of the book Extraterrestrial. Okay, Avi, we've had you on so many times. I always love talking to you about this. Any more of a clue as to what this thing is or is not?
Well, we are still waiting for NASA to release an image, the highest resolution image with 30 kilometers per pixel, that was obtained on October 2nd by the HiRISE camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. We are seeing the anti-tail that was pointed towards the sun, opposite to what we see in the context of comets, and now changing direction and going away from the sun, the more conventional way. We don't know what the reason is. And as you pointed out, we see some unusual composition of nickel with very little iron that we only find in industrially produced nickel alloys. And the size of the object, it's at least 1,000 times more massive than the previous interstellar objects we've seen. And the question is, why is such a giant object delivered to our inner solar system when we saw only small ones before. And it comes along the plane of the planets around the sun, and it comes close to Mars, Jupiter, and we just have to monitor it. And gladly, yesterday, the International Asteroid Warning Organization network decided to have a campaign starting on November 27th until January 27th, where it will coordinate using all the assets we have on Earth and in space to get as much data as possible about this mysterious object. And, that would be a great blessing, irrespective of whether it's natural or technological. But if it happens to do a maneuver when it comes close to the sun, the way spacecraft do, using gravitational assist from the sun, that would definitely affect the.
By the way, it did do a maneuver. This is from October 23rd. So this is prior to it doing the maneuver. What he hypothesized would happen did happen.
The markets, the financial markets, and politics on Earth.
Why? Because everybody will suddenly feel like, uh-oh, we've just been invaded? I mean, because if it does a maneuver around the sun, that would show it's not a natural object, right?
Yes, it could be a technological signature, but it could be also a mothership that releases mini probes that maneuver. And so I tasked the research team of the Galileo project. We have 3 observatories monitoring the sky to check for any unusual activity in the coming months. We have also orbiters around Mars that could check for unusual activity there. So I think we should keep our eyes open and not assume anything, because it could be a black swan event where something that looks natural at first ends up being like a Trojan horse, and because the implications are so huge for humanity, we must consider it seriously.
And you
You heard it here, folks. First, people, buy all the fucking toilet paper you can. Just go out
and hand sanitizer.
Yep, hand sanitizer. Bottled water.
Real quick, I'm gonna no to the hand sanitizer, guys. No to the hand sanitizer. Toilet paper, yes. Here's why no. I'm so tired of it. Like, stop fucking using hand sanitizer. Stop using Germex, guys. It's bad for you. I know it sounds fucking crazy. It's bad for you. Why is it bad for you? Because it's actually honest. It kills 99% of germs. The problem, 90% of germs are good for you. That's what keeps your fucking immune system up. It makes you healthy. If you're killing all the shit that's actually helping fight off the bad stuff, sure, you're killing the 10% of bad shit as well. But you're killing 90% of the good shit. Hand sanitizer makes you fucking more susceptible to sickness. Stop using it.
Yes. Do not deplete
is
your
that
microbiome.
Is that why everybody went crazy after COVID? It was really the hand sanitizer.
I don't. There's a lot of reasons people went crazy after COVID, but the point is, don't use that shit. It is terrible.
Posted a few minutes ago. I wonder, the last line of this article you write, 3i Atlas will get closest to Earth on December 19th, 2025. Here's hoping that by then we will know more about our dating partner in this interstellar blind date. Are you the only person? Are there other people who are sharing your concern about what this object is and about the possibility that it could be something that is not natural?
Oh, definitely. There is a huge amount of interest. I was just invited to Washington, D.C. to speak with Congress people and others. I'm speaking with Joe Rogan in a couple of days on his podcast. There is a lot of people who really want to learn more about it. There is also misinformation, of course, but the beauty of science is that we should be guided by data. And this is an excellent opportunity also to attract young people to science, because it's exciting. And the implications of the findings that we will have in the coming months could be very significant, and we should do the same for future objects of this nature.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's really big into space, and
I should say one thing about blind dates. You often assume that the partner, the dating partner, would be very friendly, but you have to worry about the serial killers as well.
Okay, Avi Loeb with
that's not gonna
a lot of warnings.
Freak anybody out.
Well, We'll end on this. I mean, not necessarily end, but this will be like the sort of the grand finale. I found this video. Now we're not gonna go through the whole thing. I honestly think we need to for the theory that I'm positing. But it says something very interesting. Comet R2 Swan has grown a sunward tail like 3i Atlas. Both now strategically surround Earth. Listen to this.
Hey everyone, geophysicist Stefan Burns here. There are a lot of unusual things occurring right now in our solar system. Of course, we have interstellar object 3i Atlas, which sometimes looks like a comet, but it also has a bunch of other anomalous characteristics to it. Now it's headed towards Jupiter. We see that it has this tail here, has this clear sunward facing tail, which is quite bizarre. It's also been spouting off jets of plasma, gas, and dust and more. And well, we really don't know what this thing is. Perhaps it's even something like a plasma biont, a plasma organism. We've been discussing that on the channel from the beginning. Now, 3i Atlas is not the only comet in our solar system right now with a sunward facing tail, which many are stating that is the most bizarre characteristic that it has. Here we have Comet R2 Swan. So this is C2025 R2 Swan. And we see that it very clearly has a sunward facing tail. So this is the normal anti-sunward facing tail. But just now, also like 3i Atlas, this comet now has this jet of plasma, dust and gas and everything pointed towards the sun.
What are the odds of this rare, this incredibly strange, off-world anomaly happening to one comet, let alone two, let alone both of them being in our solar system on opposite ends of the solar system?
Yeah.
Are they at the
that's
same
wild.
time?
R2 Swan is a bit further out. It's still incoming, but they're both close enough for us to monitor.
Yeah, so much so that we can monitor this behavior.
But okay,
Right.
so we've confirmed that these are two actual separate things because they're displaying.
Oh
the
yeah.
same
They're
behavior.
not the same. This one is R2 Swan. This one here is R2 Swan, and this is 3i Atlas. They are completely separate entities.
That's wild. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's kind of bizarre about this is that both of these comets are fairly similar. So they both flew in fairly close to the ecliptic plane. They both have a green color. We don't see it in this black and white, but it also has the same greenish color as 3i Atlas. They both had their perihelion around the same time. This was September 12th. 3i Atlas was October 29th. And now...
Oh, my bad. So yeah, R2 Swan's actually was the closer one of the two. My bad.
Both of them have this sunward facing tail, and this just recently formed in the past week or two. So that's bizarre. What you add into that
Thank
now
you, Niat.
is
Very
that both
informative.
of them are perfectly on either side of the Earth right now. And it's
I'm not sure how big R2 Swan is, Trashy Drifter, but 3i Atlas is massive. It is way larger than the average comet.
Wait, is he
almost like
saying?
they're performing.
Is he saying they're aiming for the sun?
No, they're not. They're not aiming for the sun. They'll both end up going around the sun. But what he's saying is that they're coming in at roughly the same speed, roughly the same trajectory, but on opposite sides of one another, as if they were surrounding the Earth.
Huh.
Now, I mean, this little thing here shows target as the sun, but again, we've already saw 3i Atlas past the sun, so I don't really know. I'm not sure what he's saying here. I'll back it up just a little.
Either side of the Earth right now. And it's almost like they're performing a pincer maneuver where you flank your enemy from both sides. I'm not saying that's the case, but because there's so much interest in this alien technological angle, and there's this new Age of Disclosure documentary, and a lot of people are talking about this right now, I think it's worthwhile to think about this perspective of us not being alone in space, and also to think about the larger strategy of the solar system, because right now there is an invasion in our space and we are effectively helpless to it. And we
Yo, shout out Matt, Foulball Productions, just dropped in with a fucking raid. You love to see it. Appreciate you, Matt. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, I assume, on Zax's show. Truly appreciate the raid, my man.
Yeah,
Are
it's the
seeing
ratings.
objects in our solar system which are quite anomalous. So to see this pincer maneuver in action, let's roll the clock back all the way to the perihelion of R2 Swan and look at their orbital trajectories. That was September 12th. We have this here visualized via the...
So for those of you that can't see, because maybe it's a small screen and whatnot, right here is is R2 Swan. Right here is 3i Atlas. And then right here is Earth.
Sky Live, link to this in the video description, as well as everything else I'm showing you in this video. That's what I always do. Okay, so we see that R2 Swan here is closest to the sun. Its distance is only 0.5 astronomical units away. In fact, we didn't pick it up until it was at its perihelion. So it did this entire zoom in here, and we didn't notice that at all. That's the first thing, is that we are putting on a lot of new telescopes and observatories that hopefully catch these objects and comets and whatever flying into our solar system, but we're also pretty clueless and blind at this moment in time. And we really need to expand out our defensive capabilities, you could say. So this is September 12th. We see 3i Atlas here, still in the asteroid belt. If we click play, we will see that R2 Swan has this very close flyby of Earth. You may remember me talking about that when it happened. Here we have the perihelion of 3i Atlas, and then we can stop it right on today, and you'll notice this alignment between 3i Atlas, Earth, and R2 Swan. You'll also notice that R2 Swan is pretty much along the ecliptic plane of the planets in the solar system, just like 3i Atlas is. 3i Atlas is only 5 degrees off, which is effectively right on it. And then R2 Swan is a little bit more than that. You see its orbit there kind of going out, but it's also flying in close to the ecliptic plane. So there's a lot of interesting things as it relates to that. You can connect that to solar activity and like the flow of energy between these two and Earth. But from a solar system strategy perspective, this is not a good formation for us to be in, because effectively they have control of our space on either side. And
so, and that's pretty much all we'll do with this particular video. I will link it in the comments if you guys want to watch the full thing. But yeah, what it boils down to, I mean, I don't know. What are you guys thinking of? What are you guys thinking of this? This is, what are the odds of two comets that are both, you know, have all these anomalies that are almost come in as if they're doing a flanking maneuver on us?
Mm-hmm.
That's astronomical, right?
Crazy.
Now,
I mean,
the other go on.
How do you like, in the event that something were to happen, like not necessarily an alien attack, say, but like should they collide and the debris gets like too close to Earth, like is there even anything that we can do?
Well, I mean, it would all break up.
It
would all break up, assuming. I mean, if this asteroid was coming straight at us, yeah, it would be a problem.
But it's a comet, not an asteroid. But go on.
Oh yeah, comet, not an asteroid. Either way, yeah.
Assuming it's actually a comet.
I think they're gonna get perfectly lined up. Every screen on the planet will start playing the Rickroll, and then when it passes, all of our Bitcoin will be gone, and it'll just be like some interstellar prank.
Well, let's make sure that we're streaming the moment the Rickroll happens, because I would love for us to be part of an intergalactic Rickroll live on TFH.
Oh, I know, right?
We did it. We did it.
But yeah, no, I mean, this is weird. There's no other way to put it. This is weird. I also kind of want to harken back to last week's episode about the psyops. What are the odds that, you know, all this information that we're being fed about 3i Atlas, about R2 Swan, about these anomalies, that in and of itself is actually a psyop, you know, distracting us from something else going on?
Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely. That what's going on?
I was wondering if this was a psyop type thing.
Ever since last week's episode, everything at this point is a psyop. What do we know? Yeah, Domisel says do the checklist. Yeah, I plan on doing the checklist as well. But yeah, all in all, like I'm at a loss. I think this is incredibly fascinating. So I guess the final thing that we'll just go around the horn and say, what do we think? Extraterrestrial beings, some sort of alien probe or craft, or just irregular space body that we are just unfamiliar with due to the fact that we've, like Jake said, only been able to really catalog and track these things for a very limited amount of time. Cindy, we'll start with you.
I don't know. The whole thing about the plasma spouting from the front kind of makes it even more curious. But like, I just think they're comets, really. I'm kind of excited to hear about what, like, in a couple of months, what they release as far as information goes. But yeah,
Johnny,
I don't.
look at the alien, not the Extreme Files. Extremely
Yeah,
fascinating, utterly distracting. Yep.
I
By the way,
agree with
no,
that.
Temple Haters is not a psyop. I'm not saying that I'm morally above psyoping you guys. What I'm saying is I would need to be paid a fuck ton to do it, and your boy's broke. Speaking of Griff, hashtag super chats. Anyway, sorry, go on, Cindy.
No, I have to agree with Johnny on this because everybody's like, no, Epstein files. We want Epstein. So it's like, ooh, look, new thing. Be paranoid. Don't lose focus, guys. Don't have the ADHD like I do. But yeah, that's it.
Or what if it is real? Like just Israel, not Israel. What if it is real? And while we're too busy arguing about our planet being run by a global cabal of pedophiles, we end up getting conquered by an intergalactic spacefaring race. That would really suck.
I mean, it wouldn't take much at this point. We're all pretty divided. We all believe in stupid shit. I mean, like, I don't know. Or we fight over stupid shit, rather. I don't know.
Real life fake wizard. It's funny you say that. I take it you weren't here at the beginning because the main scientist proposing the extraterrestrial theory, wouldn't you know it, is Israeli. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very funny you say this. Comet things to cover up to give billions more to a country in the Middle East. And yes, the main scientist, Harvard professor, proposing the extraterrestrial theory is in fact an Israeli. So you might not be too far off. Cindy, you got final thoughts on whether it's alien tech, or are we moving to Sammy?
Nope, that's about it for me. It's a comet.
Sammy, what about you?
I would go with Comet until you got me with the second one, and now I'm starting to think it's a reconnaissance mission. And they're just observing. The trajectory doesn't show anything where it's like an attack, but yeah, these things are changing their trajectories, speeding up, slowing down, putting themselves in like prime placement to like set satellites throughout the solar system. This kind of looks like they're just scoping some stuff out, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do a poll in the chat. I'll do a poll in the chat right now. Give me one sec.
I think it's fake wizard. I think he's behind all of it.
All right, there we go. I just put the poll. You guys go ahead and start filling that out, and then we'll end it before we end the show. Sammy, any final thoughts on whether you think it's alien spacecraft or not?
No, I said I think real life fake wizards behind it all.
I can believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah.
Well, the Jews actually do have space lasers. Here's the thing: the whole Jewish space laser thing is Marjorie Taylor Greene was taken out of context for that. So we do have satellites that can produce quote unquote space lasers. That is a real thing. There's an actual scientific term for it. It's not just space lasers. But yes, those are real. I can pull up what it was called. I don't remember off the top of my head. And the majority of the funding in the
it's called the Jew Pew.
The majority of the funding for the companies that put those satellites in our atmosphere were funded by Israel and by Jewish-owned corporations. So Jewish space lasers, like, yes, technically that is real. That's just not how it's actually should be talked about to the media if you want it to actually be taken seriously. So just saying. Anyway, as for me, I'm kind of on the same side as Sammy in that, like, if it was just the one comet, if it was just 3i Atlas, I'd be leaning towards it's just a comet, guys. You know, it's doing some weird shit, but it's a comet. But when you combine Threat Atlas and R2 Swan and them being here at the same time, them having the same anomalies, them having more or less the same sort of makeup, again, the odds of that just seem so infinitesimally small.
Insane.
Like, I can't. Now, that being said, like we mentioned earlier, NASA lies. NASA lies a lot. And who's the person calling out NASA and saying be more transparent? Someone from Israel. Now, granted, a Harvard professor with plenty of credentials, a doctor, the whole nine. But even so, we're at a point in our lives when it comes to what's going on in the world that anything that comes out of Israel, I'm going to fucking question. So, like, I'm like 51-49. It's aliens, you know, and the 49% being, yeah, no, this is some sort of propaganda. I'm pretty on the fucking fence about it, but I do lean more towards, I wouldn't necessarily say aliens. Well, I guess by it's not necessarily these are dudes on a craft, but this being some sort of like at least a probe, satellites, reconnaissance, just like something, some sort of data gathering instrument. So that's, yeah, I'd say I'm 51-49, that being the more likely of the two. I mean, I don't know. I've always been really, really skeptical about anything extraterrestrial life related because I don't think it's actually as likely as a lot of people will. Because a lot of people point to like, oh, the universe is so big and we've only explored so much and whatnot. But like then you get into, you know, let's say the Fermi paradox, things to that effect. So I don't think just taking into account the size of the universe is a good enough reason to believe in you know, extraterrestrial life. This though, it's weird. It's certainly
weird.
fucking
It's
weird.
definitely weird.
Like, how much force does that plasma in the front have to emit to be able to do what it's doing?
I'm not smart enough to know the math on that. Otherwise, I would love to give you an answer.
Yeah, I got nothing.
As for the chat, we've got 32 votes. 59% say aliens, 41% say Comet. So, like, even the chat is pretty split. Like, that's not a massive differential, right? It just went up 61-39. So it's moving in the direction of like most people think it's aliens, and that's fair. Like I would not call y'all crazy for thinking it's aliens. I also wouldn't say that you're you know, being obtuse in thinking that this is just some sort of psyop, and that's obviously a comet. Deadly Catzilla for a 5-banger. You know all the stuff Elon Musk does with space. He wants to. He has have to. You know, with all the stuff Elon Musk does with space, he has to have come across a UFO. UFO, yes. Extraterrestrial life, not necessarily. UFO is just unidentified flying object. So,
How do you think he got here?
Necessarily be a UFO. What did you say, Sammy?
Said, how do you think he got here?
That's true. Elon Musk likely an alien. Either way, shout out. Thank you for the 5-banger. This is for you. Remember when things were good? Remember when life wasn't so bad and we didn't have to worry about whether or not we were about to be invaded by aliens, or these 2 comets right here was actually a Jewish conspiracy so that we can give trillions to Israel? Remember when life didn't suck? Yeah, you can't go back.
God, I missed that timeline.
I do too.
So
I want to.
That's pretty much it at this point. I think we're about to wrap it up here. I mean, at least I've got nothing else. This is we'll have more information after December 19th when it makes its closest pass to Earth. But again, just because we have more information, why should we trust it? What are the odds it's real?
Are we going to cover it again when they update it? Or do you want to wait like a while?
It'll depend on the information that comes out if we revisit this. Because like if it comes out that like, hey, it's a comet, looks like we found a trail of ice and gas emissions now that it's closer, there's nothing really to add there. if it comes out that there's major arguments or speculation or something to that effect, like, yeah, we very well might end up covering this again. I don't know.
That'd be exciting.
But, yep, that being said, I suppose we'll wrap it here unless anybody else has any final thoughts.
Nope.
Perfect. Cinevere, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you got coming up, the whole nine.
Hey there, cuties. I'm Cinevere. You guys can find me on all platforms as Cinevere. I have a stream later tonight at 11:50 p.m. CST. I'll be playing Alien Isolation. I will also be streaming on Thursday for all you cuties that aren't really doing anything for the holiday. I want to make sure that you have at least something to look forward to. Don't know what I'm doing yet. I think BMO is going to join me. Other than that, you guys can always find me on Leon's channel every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. You can find me on Zax's channel every Wednesday and Saturday, and BMO's channel every Wednesday. And then I stream on my own channel Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So yeah, I look forward to seeing all you cuties soon.
You'll love to see it. Sammy, what about you? What you got coming up, brother?
It's going to be a pretty relaxed week, but I do have a my band does have a tape performance. I'm just editing that up, trying to bump the audio up a little bit in certain places, and then I'll have that out to you guys. And then after I chop it up individually, I'll have it on Stagger Lee's main page. But I always like to share it on my channel first, just because I'm an arrogant asshole like that. So otherwise, I think not a lot throughout the week. I'll definitely have Cape Cast on Saturday, and in other news on Sunday. So should be a nice relaxing holiday.
You love to see it. Well, as for me, I'm actually in the same boat as Cinevere. I'll just let you guys know, I will 100% be streaming during Thanksgiving. In fact, instead of doing the lunch hour for 2 hours, from 1 to 3, like I usually do, we'll probably actually go even earlier. We'll probably start at noon and go till 3, just to give you guys a little extra hour for, not everybody got family, not everybody is, together or whatnot on the holiday. And I want to make sure that, you've got a place to come to where you can have some sort of, something to be thankful for, some Thanksgivingness, just the Vital Idol community. We look out for our own around here. And then tomorrow, of course, will be the lunch hour as well. And yes, I am absolutely doing a long stream tomorrow because I ain't got shit else to do tomorrow. And you guys have been just pumping the reaction requests in the Discord with stuff you want me to react to. So I think tomorrow we going in long, baby. It's going to be a good show, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Videos nearly every day, streams every day. If you've not checked out the Shoe on Head video, definitely check that out. It would mean the absolute world to me. And if you've not followed my gaming channel yet, Glitch in Paradise, I do usually about at least 2 streams a week over there doing various games, as well as roughly 3 videos a week putting out gaming stuff that, while is interesting, stuff that I wouldn't normally put on the main channel. So, in fact, I just dropped a video. If you guys missed Countercast yesterday, there was a very interesting video that we covered yesterday on Countercast about the Game Awards and individuals demanding that they have a moment for Palestine. It's kind of hilarious. So hop on over to the gaming channel. Check that out if you haven't. It would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for the donos. Thank you so much to everybody that turned up. I will see you guys tomorrow for the lunch hour at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise. Oh, and we're rating Cult Classic Cage. Stick around. We're rating Cassie. Make sure you hop in there and tell Cassie Vital Idol Raid. See you on the